semuanya. Sudah lama ya kita tidak bertemu. Nah teman-teman, sebentar lagi kita akan memulai ibadah hari ini. Nah tapi sebelum itu mari kita berdoa. Tuhan Yesus, sebentar lagi kita akan memulai ibadah hari ini. Tolong Tuhan berkati ibadah ini dari awal, pertengahan hingga akhir Tuhan. Terima kasih Tuhan Yesus, haleluya, amin. Selamat beribadah, bye.
Selamat pagi semuanya. Bertemu lagi sama cici-cici yang ada di sini, perempuan-perempuan semua ini. Kita memuji dan memuliakan nama Tuhan pada ibadah online sekolah minggu hari ini dengan satu pujian yang mengatakan bahwa Tuhan Allah di tengah kita semakin besar dan semakin besar. Pusing. Kalau kita bilang besar berarti besar sekali. disampaikan oleh cici-cici atau koko-koko yang nanti akan memberitakan firman Tuhan. Kita mau fokus, mau dengarkan, siapkan hati dan pikiran kita untuk memuji dan memuliakan Tuhan serta mendengarkan firman Tuhan. Kita akan memujikan satu pujian yang membuat kita semakin dekat lagi dengan Tuhan. Karena hanya Tuhanlah yang setia dalam kehidupan kita. ya Tuhan bahwa pada pagi hari ini Tuhan sudah izinkan kami semua untuk memuji dan memuliakan nama-Mu ya Tuhan. Tuhan, kiranya sebentar lagi kami akan mendengarkan firman-Mu, kiranya Kau berkati kami, beri kami hikmat akal budi agar kami dapat mendengarkan firman-Mu dengan baik dan melakukannya dalam kehidupan kami. Terima kasih ya Tuhan, di dalam nama Yesus kami sudah berdoa dan mengucap syukur. Haleluya, amin. Selamat mendengarkan firman Tuhan.
Halo adik-adik, ketemu lagi nih dengan Cia Regina. Di minggu kali ini kita mau mendengarkan cerita tentang seorang nabi. Tema kita kali ini adalah Yunus di perut ikan. Siapa yang gak kenal Yunus? Semuanya kenal Yunus kan? Yunus adalah seorang nabi. Untuk mengingat-ingat kembali cerita kita, apa sih hari ini yang mau kita bahas? Kita lihat dulu yuk cuplikan cerita tontonan video Yunus. Mari kita lihat.
Jonah was a wise old man who lived in Israel long, long ago. He was loved and respected by the people. Everybody came to him to solve their problems, and he gave them wise advice. God loved him because he was a good man and he helped his fellow beings. Jonah loved God. He followed his teachings and prayed to God all the time. Nineveh was a neighboring country of Israel. The people in this country were known to be very evil. They did not follow God. They did bad things. They were cruel, greedy, and were always fighting with other people. Because of this, God was angry with the people of Nineveh. One day, God spoke to Jonah and called for his service.
Jonah, I have something to tell you.
My Lord, I am lucky to be of your service. Tell me, I am listening to you, God.
There is a place called Nineveh not very far from here. The people living in this place are evil. They steal from each other, kill their own brothers, and do a lot of other evil things. Their king is lazy and selfish. He eats, drinks, and enjoys himself while his people are starving. He does not care about his people. Their actions anger me, and I have decided to destroy them.
I understand, my God. I am well aware of their actions. They are a wretched group of people. They are also our sworn enemies.
In 40 days I will destroy the land of Nineveh and everyone living there. This is my decision.
So be it, my Lord. You have told me all of this. But I still do not understand how I can be of service to you. Tell me, my Lord, what should I do to make your wish come true?
You are a good and righteous man, Jonah. You have always obeyed me and followed my teachings. I trust you and your abilities. This is why you must go to Nineveh immediately and talk to the people about me. They do not know me. You must speak about my love. You must tell them to change their ways and become good people. Only you can do this.
But God, how will I do this? They are evil. They will not listen to me. Also, they are our sworn enemies. The people of Nineveh are constantly attacking us and waging war against us. They try to steal from us and harm our women.
That is all true. But still, you must go and talk to them. They will have a second chance through you. If they fail, they will be destroyed. You are their only hope for survival now. Only you can convince them to change their ways and turn to me, the one and only living God. I have complete faith in you.
God, you have decided to destroy them anyway after 40 days. Then why should I go there and risk my life? My countrymen will be more than happy to hear that Nineveh is going to be destroyed. They will abandon me if they hear that I tried to stop that from happening.
This is my will. You must do this, Jonah. You must leave for Nineveh immediately.
Very well, my lord. As you wish. Jonah was very troubled by what God had asked of him. He was happy that God had decided to destroy the people of Nineveh. They were the enemies of Israel. He did not believe that he could change their ways. But then, how could he disobey God? Jonah finally decided he would not go to Nineveh. He got scared and decided to escape from Nineveh and hide from God. Jonah traveled far from Nineveh over the deserts and barren lands. Finally, he reached the seashore, where he saw a ship heading to another city across the sea. He asked the captain whether he could get on the ship. The captain was not happy at first, but finally agreed. The sailors did not know about the one true God that Jonah served and believed in. They worshipped stone and wooden idols. They had a god for the sun, another god for the moon, another for the ocean, and so on. Jonah saw this, but he did not speak anything. He went and slept in the lower part of the ship. Jonah was fast asleep in the lower part of the ship. Once the ship had traveled a short distance, the ship got caught in a great storm. They were tossed around in the water like a paper boat. Everybody on the ship was very scared and began to cry out loud to their gods. The men on the ship were surprised to see Jonah sleeping peacefully while a great storm was raging outside.
Hey Jonah, wake up! Wake up! How can you sleep like this? There is a storm outside and the ship is going to be torn apart. Wake up and pray to your God. We have been praying to our gods for some time now, but the storm is continuing to rock the boat.
No, this is the work of my God, the one and only true God who made the whole world.
Did you do anything to make him angry? How can we stop this storm?
I tried to hide away from him. He gave me a task, but I refused to do it. That's why he's angry at me.
Now what should we do?
There is nothing else to do. You have no other option but to throw me off the ship, and then the storm will go away. My God will leave you alone.
No, we cannot do that. You're a good man. We don't want to harm you. Let us try to throw some of the cargo out and see if we can keep the ship afloat.
The sailors started throwing out the packages loaded on the ship one by one, but the storm did not go away. There is no use in doing this. Throw me into the water. Save yourself.
I hope your God keeps you safe.
When the sailors realized that they had no other option, they threw Jonah off the ship into the sea. And like a miracle, the storm subsided. The sea was calm all of a sudden. Just at that moment, a big whale came up and swallowed Jonah. Jonah was scared like never before. He was in the dark.
Stop dulu, pause dulu videonya. Kita melihat Yunus dibuang ke laut. Dan atas penentuan Tuhan ada seekor ikan besar yang melahap Yunus. Sehingga Yunus sekarang ada di perut ikan. Nah, apa sih yang terjadi di dalam perut ikan? Apa yang dilakukan Yunus? Yunus berdoa. Kita mau baca sama-sama di Yunus 2 ayat 1 hingga yang ke-10. Buka Alkitabnya ya. Yunus 2 ayat 1 hingga yang ke-10. Doa ucapan syukur Yunus. Berdoalah Yunus kepada Tuhan Allahnya dari dalam perut ikan itu, katanya. Dalam kesusahanku aku berseru kepada Tuhan dan ia menjawab aku. Dari tengah-tengah dunia orang mati aku berteriak, dan kau dengarkan suaraku. Yang telah kau lemparkan aku ke tempat yang dalam, ke pusat lautan. Lalu aku terangkum oleh arus air. Segala gelora dan gelombangmu melingkupi aku. Dan aku berkata, telah terusir aku dari hadapan matamu. Mungkinkah aku memandang lagi bait-mu yang kudus? Segala air telah mengepung aku, mengancam nyawaku. Samudra raya merangkum aku, lumut lautan membelit kepalaku. Di dasar gunung-gunung, aku tenggelam ke dasar bumi. Pintunya terpalang di belakangku untuk selama-lamanya. Ketika itulah engkau naikkan nyawaku dari dalam liang kubur, ya Tuhan Allahku. Ketika jiwaku letih lesu di dalam aku, teringatlah aku kepada Tuhan. Dan sampailah doaku kepadamu, ke dalam bait-mu yang kudus. Mereka yang berpegang teguh pada berhala kesia-siaan, merekalah yang meninggalkan Dia yang mengasihi mereka dengan setia. Tetapi aku, dengan ucapan syukur, akan kupersembahkan korban kepadamu. Apa yang kunasarkan akan kubayar. Keselamatan adalah dari Tuhan. Lalu berfirmanlah Tuhan kepada ikan itu, dan ikan itu pun memuntahkan Yunus ke darat. Ayat ini menceritakan bahwa Yunus menyesal akan perbuatannya. Dia benar-benar memohon ampun. Dia mengetahui karena kelalaiannya, karena dia nakal, gak mau ke Niniwe. Tuhan menghukum dia. Dan di sini diceritakan Tuhan memberikan kesempatan yang kedua kali untuk Yunus. Kemudian ikan itu pun memuntahkan Yunus ke darat. Itu semua atas penentuan Tuhan. Kemudian apa yang terjadi selanjutnya ya? Kita lanjutkan cerita Yunus tadi.
Jonah was scared like never before. He was in the dark and cold. There was a horrible smell around him. Also, it was slimy and all kinds of things were floating around him. It was then that he realized that he was inside a whale. Jonah could not believe this was happening to him, but realized that God was doing all of this. Jonah spent 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the whale. He prayed the whole time to God. He was asking for forgiveness and promised that he would never try to hide away from God. Jonah would lose hope from time to time and thought he would never see daylight again. He thought about the foolish things he had done. How could he believe that he could disobey God and hide from him? This was so stupid of him. Alone in the cold, dark insides of the whale, Jonah became very sad. But he called out to God, and it gave him strength. He believed that God would keep him safe. On the 4th day, the whale opened its mouth and spit Jonah onto the beach. Jonah was relieved to see the light of day. He had been inside the dark belly of a whale for 3 days. Then God spoke to him.
Jonah, you cannot hide from me. Whatever you do, I am with you all the time.
I am so sorry, my Lord. I realize now how foolish I have been. Tell me what I can do to make up for this.
Do as I told you. You must go to Nineveh and complete the task I gave you. They are evil because they do not know me. They have not heard of my teachings. They deserve a chance to change their ways and become good.
I will do whatever you ask of me, my Lord. I shall go and speak to the people of Nineveh about your undying love. This time, Jonah went to Nineveh as promised. He talked to the people about God and his kingdom. He talked about what had happened to him and how God had rescued him from the raging storm by sending a whale. He showed them why it was important to do good things and be kind to people. He taught them God's teachings and how God was protecting them and taking care of them at all times. He also warned them about God's punishment. To his surprise, the people of Nineveh listened to him. The king heard of Jonah and called him to the palace. Jonah talked to the king about how God was merciful, but that if he didn't change himself, then the city of Nineveh would be destroyed in 40 days. The king asked for forgiveness for all the bad and horrible things he had done, and promised that he would pray to the one and only true God from now on. He also announced throughout the land that everybody should pray to the Almighty God that Jonah served. Jonah spent many days with the people of Nineveh. God saw that indeed the people of Nineveh had changed, so God decided not to punish the city of Nineveh. Later, Jonah realized his work was finished and he started on his
Kita sudah melihat cuplikan, kita sudah melihat filmnya lanjutannya. Pada akhirnya Yunus dimuntahkan. Yunus berbalik dari perbuatannya yang jahat dan dia memberitakan tentang Tuhan kepada orang-orang Niniwe. Dan banyak jiwa-jiwa diselamatkan karena cerita Yunus, karena perbuatan Yunus yang Tuhan sudah perintahkan. Begitu pula dengan kita. Apakah kita seringkali malas untuk melakukan firman Tuhan? Berapa banyak firman Tuhan yang sudah kita abaikan? Terkadang itu kita malas untuk melakukannya. Tuhan memerintahkan A, kita nggak lakukan. Ini saatnya untuk kita untuk menyadari bahwa dosa-dosa kita yang semula melanggar firman Tuhan, kita mau bawa ke hadapan Tuhan dan yakini bahwa Tuhan mengampuni dan jangan kembali lagi ke jalan yang jahat. Seringkali kita malas untuk melakukan firman Tuhan, jangan lagi sekarang malas-malasan untuk melakukan firman Tuhan. Yuk, mari adik-adik, kita mau giat untuk melakukan firman Tuhan. Kita mau ceritakan pada orang-orang sekitar bahwa Tuhan Yesus itu adalah Tuhan yang berkuasa. Tuhan Yesus itu Allah yang tidak pernah gagal. Meskipun seringkali kita gagal, tapi Tuhan Yesus itu tidak pernah gagal. Nah, sekarang tugasnya, adik-adik cari kertas yang kosong ya. Nah, kertas sama pensil. Boleh pensil, boleh pulpen, boleh. Nah, sekarang kita mau tuliskan semua perintah Tuhan yang sering kita langgar. Setelah kita sudah menuliskan, kemudian yang kedua, tuliskan doa penyesalan kita akan pelanggaran-pelanggaran yang telah kita lakukan. Sebutkan apa yang adik-adik tulis, bacakan dengan tulus dan minta Tuhan untuk mengampuni kita, minta Tuhan untuk membimbing kita. Mari kita berdoa. Tuhan Yesus, Allah Bapa kami yang dalam surga, terima kasih Tuhan atas penyertaan Tuhan untuk renungan hari ini. Terima kasih Tuhan, kami sadar Tuhan seringkali kami seperti dulu, seringkali kami melanggar perintah Tuhan, kami malas untuk melakukan firman Tuhan. Kami lupa akan fokus kami sebagai anak-anak Tuhan yang bertujuan untuk memancarkan terang pada sama kami, untuk memberitakan Tuhan kepada sekeliling kami. Ampuni kami Tuhan, ampuni kami Bapa Tuhan, dan biarlah kami dalam segala hal, dalam hari-hari kami mampu untuk semangat, mampu untuk berbalik dari jalan kami yang jahat, yang tidak disiplin, yang malas-malasan. Kami mau Tuhan untuk rajin, kami mau Tuhan untuk menceritakan firman Tuhan kepada orang-orang yang mungkin belum mengenal Tuhan. Kami mau menuruti apapun yang Tuhan perintahkan, dan mohon ampun Tuhan bila seringkali kami gagal. Kami percaya Tuhan adalah Allah yang tidak pernah gagal Tuhan, dan janji Tuhan ya dan amin untuk kami Tuhan. Tuhan tolong kami Tuhan, kami sudah sekolah offline Tuhan. Tuhan tolong berkati dimanapun kami berada, apapun yang kami berbuat Tuhan lindungi, Tuhan tutup bungkus dengan kuasa darah Tuhan, jauhkan dari penyakit, jauhkan dari mara bahaya, karena kami tahu Tuhan Yesus adalah Allah yang mengasihi kami. Kami mau Tuhan mengasihi Tuhan, tidak sebanding apa yang kami berikan, tapi kami percaya Tuhan, saat kami memberikan dengan sukacita, saat kami memberikan dengan tulus, itu harum di mata Tuhan. Terima kasih Tuhan, terima kasih Yesus. Ampuni atas segala dosa dan kesalahan kami, hanya di dalam nama Tuhan Yesus Kristus Juru Selamat dan penebus dosa kami sudah berdoa. Haleluya. Ya adik-adik, kita sudah selesai untuk mendengarkan firman Tuhan. Diingat yuk, mari kita sama-sama semangat untuk menjalani hari ini. semangat untuk menjalani minggu-minggu ke depan. Yakin dan percaya Tuhan Yesus beserta kita dan akan menolong kita melalui banyak hal dalam kehidupan ini. Haleluya, Tuhan Yesus memberkati.